5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1.
Yo.
Pew, 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 pew.
Hey, welcome, y'all.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Nah. Welcome everybody back to another episode of We're Wrestlemaniacs 2. It's your boy, Is He Too Real? Along with my boy from his home,
Playboy Troy.
Y'all know how we do it. What the hell is that? It look like a big ass Dorito or a Cheeto can.
No, it's Raising Cane's chicken fingers.
Oh, no, chicken fingers or a fry bucket.
Or a fry bucket. Or a fry bucket. Either one.
Or a fry bucket. You know what I mean? As you guys can tell, we are in 2 different locations, probably for the first time in like damn near a year. Shit. You know what I mean? It's been a long damn time. But we got to get it going because SummerSlam happened just last night. Not even 24 hours ago. I say maybe 10. Great fucking pay-per-view in my eyes. You know, we're going to get to that review in just a moment. But we also got some other things to talk about as well. Did you want to talk about we'll save that for later. We'll talk about the MJF and Britt Baker situation as far as what happened in the back with them and with the girlfriend, I think, of MJF. Yes. And then also talk about the some injuries coming out of SummerSlam.
Right.
And then if there's time, maybe we'll talk about the other thing with Mercedes Moné. And it's kind of in her personal life, so maybe we dive into it just a little bit, but not too much.
Just a little bit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just a little bit. But if you want to get us started with the first thing, I believe the MJF Britt Baker situation, AEW drama again.
I feel like it's always AEW drama.
It's Punk's fault. It's Punk's fault.
Man, well,
he started this time.
It's word on the street that there's a leak out there in AEW. So there's someone just out here telling all the news. So it is what it is. But yeah, reports came out that MJF I'm gonna hold MJF off real quick. Britt Baker was suspended, and it means like actually suspended because in the storyline she was suspended for the actions she did against Mercedes Moné at the conference, but in actuality, she was suspended, but for a different reason. Word on the street is she was in the locker room, in the females' locker room, just, chatting it up, gossip talk or whatever. And she was expressing how she was upset about how Will Ospreay and MJF got an hour of AEW time for their, I guess some people say a classic of a international championship match. Basically, she didn't like it, and one of the people that's happened to be in that locker room is a newly signed, ring announcer or backstage interviewer.
Who happens to be a wrestler, so it beats me.
No, she's a interviewer. That's what it was, and she's dating MJF's current girlfriend, who just got hired by Tony Khan, to be an interviewer. But you know how she really got there. Come on.
Right.
That's MJF's girl. So basically, Britt's in there talking trash about MJF. Girl runs to MJF like, "Hey, she's talking bad about you." MJF and Britt used to be best friends or used to be cool, whatever. That all went to shits last year or whatever, a couple years ago. So we had one report that MJF came busting into the women's locker room, but it came out that he just banged on the door. Well, not banged on the door. He knocked on the door, and they invited him in. But there was reports, and this is the only thing that I guess not confirmed, but a part of that stayed similar to both stories was he punched a wall in the women's locker room. So yeah, out of all that, HR was called in, and Britt Baker was suspended. And MJF
after an investigation.
Yeah, after an investigation. And then MJF continued on with his title reign, and yeah, that's that. So we probably won't see Britt until All In.
That's crazy. I'll say this just my opinion about it. Britt Baker, number one, was wrong. And MJF was wrong, and absolutely MJF's girlfriend was wrong. And I'll say the main culprit will be MJF's girlfriend. Because it wasn't like Britt Baker, well, we don't know it, but in my eyes, it wasn't like Britt Baker was just like, this fucking loser MJF, well, he a bitch ass, and just talking shit about him.
Going on.
She just was expressing her frustration about the time in the match, which sometimes happens. It is what the fuck it is. So for the girlfriend to run back to the boyfriend to immediately tell him what was said, that was kind of foul in my eyes. And then for him to immediately run back to go scream at Britt Baker is absolutely foul in my eyes. Yes, right. you're the star, but bro, you just ran a whole girl to go. Like, if that's the case, go tell her to go get your ex-boyfriend. Go get Adam Cole and let's have this conversation then. Like, then you have a conversation with that man.
What do you mean by that?
Because I just heard that they are broken up, that they are no longer together. So
I don't know about all.
This is from another wrestler though that I've heard this from. So
put a name on
it. I'm not doing all that. Check around. Check around.
Well, first of all, Adam wasn't there. He ain't there. He hurt, as always.
Right. Well, he could be backstage because AEW makes their people come backstage even when if they're not booked. So they still make them come backstage to sit back in catering. So, but just again, my point of view with it is like, yeah, Britt Baker said what she said. Maybe it's not her place. Maybe it is her place. Maybe they gave her that much power since she's been there, or made her that much big-headed since she's been there to feel like she has a place to say something. Even so, it wasn't that big of a deal for the girlfriend to go back to MJF to tell him about it, and for him to go back to her and flip about it. It wasn't that big of a deal for that.
That's where I'm at. I don't put no blame on Britt Baker in this situation because to me, I can say whatever fuck I want to say. so I could voice my opinion about this stuff, especially in the position of Britt Baker, of one of the originals and somebody who's been
pretty much the number one woman's talent.
Exactly,
she's the one been there for the longest. So
she's the Charlotte Flair right there in that company.
Boom.
So she's the head honcho of the women. So it's like, if I'm in locker room with other dudes, and I'm sitting there like, dang, this talking about like, I keep it in wrestling. If I'm in the guy's locker room, I'm like, damn, the girls went an hour, bro. Damn, man, we could have fit this up in there. We could have fit this and that and another in the storyline. You gotta think, the women don't get that much time on AEW TV.
Exactly. Boom. So you can understand their frustration.
You got a 2-hour block. 1 hour is dedicated to MJF and Will Ospreay. That's boom. So now, boom.
Nah, that was perfect. Now you got the rest is a big fuck you to the rest of the roster for an hour.
The rest of the roster. Because then you sitting there and you telling me you have that as your one block, and at the end of the show, I still have Swerve and Okada as the main event. So what is in between that? Literally fucking nothing.
45 minutes and 7-minute segments.
And that's not even counting commercials.
That's what I'm saying. 7-minute segments per. So you have what? 5 times 7? You got 5. You got 5 different things to do in this 7-minute block that you got. Of 35 minutes left because of 10 minutes with the commercials.
Ain't nothing getting done in that point. There's nothing getting done. So at that point, bro, I'm going to be frustrated. Because one, not only we're sitting here trying to build a story of Mercedes and Britt Baker to All In. We done propped up this whole story to the point where, not to be offensive, but they have a great story with Tony Storm and them going on and Mariah May, but that's playing second fiddle really to Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné right now, who's a secondary.
And don't they have? Yeah, I was just about to say, don't they have the secondary title?
Yes. So basically, the Intercontinental, if you want to put it in WWE terms, the Intercontinental title is about to be the main event, while the Universal title or whatever, Undisputed title, is going to be sitting there in the second card, like in the lower level of the card. Like, come on, bro, what are you talking about? So now at this point, y'all sitting here, you telling me these women are getting bare minimum of minutes already, and now we're not even gonna get scrapped. when it comes to Dynamite, when it comes to that show.
Right.
So I'm in the locker room. I'm going to express my feelings about it. Because guess what? If I'm pissed off about it as the number one person in the locker room, y'all should be pissed off about it as more than me.
Fact.
And then now, and I'm going to be dead honest. I think MJF girl should be getting changed in the bathroom by herself. She shouldn't be in the locker room. She D'Angelo Russell. She want to snitch. That's all she doing. I can't talk freely because you want to go run and snitch to everybody after I say something. Ain't no locker room loyalty there no more. If you gonna run and do that, you gotta get your own. Get your bag, get up out of here. You can't get dressed here. Sorry, go somewhere else. Go to MJF's locker room. Go hang out with him. You snitching. You snitch. You're doing too much. You causing drama when there shouldn't even be no drama. First of all, y'all already fighting to stay on TV with the ratings and everything. The worst thing y'all could do is literally start tearing each other apart. Because that's the worst thing you do. When you losing a war and you getting your ass kicked, the worst thing to do is start beating on the person that's right next to you in the war. That's the worst thing you can do at that point.
Your baton buddy, like.
Yeah. Hey, WWE ain't even got to do nothing for that. Guess what? I feel like we see a AEW report of something going down basically every other week.
Yeah, it's always some type of beef going on.
If it ain't
There's always some type of conflict.
If it ain't Britt, it's MJF. It ain't MJF, it's Sammy Guevara. It ain't Sammy Guevara, it's Jungle Boy. If it ain't that one, it's this one. If it ain't them, it's the fucking Acclaim. It's always something with this.
Thunder Rosa, the Young Bucks, or something. It's always somebody.
So it's always somebody. And I'm like, damn. A lot of people are like, well, WWE don't got no leaks. You know why? Because WWE know how to nip that shit in the butt. Guess what? When WWE hears about somebody complaining about time on TV, whatever, guess what they do? They rush your ass on TV, get your time so you can shut up about it and move along. Zelina Vega.
They might write your ass right off, right again.
Zelina Vega, I just want my chance. Put you on TV, you got your couple of weeks in a row. She had, what, three weeks in a row with Liv Morgan? You ain't the main story, baby. But since you want to complain, here's your chance to get Liv. How you play out? She didn't do too bad. She didn't do too good. But guess what? She got a TV time. Boom. We ain't got to hear about her complaining in the locker room. We ain't got to hear about her doing nothing else. Because guess what? Now she had a TV time. That's how WWE works. It's a machine. It's a business.
Was that really a thing?
What?
With Zelina Vega?
Yeah. She literally was on her screen, and she was like, man, I just want a chance. If they ever just give me the chance, I could run with the ball. Guess what? Literally, after that statement, she had 2 weeks on Raw, straight, of her TV on TV. Then she got a whole, now she in a whole entire, I don't want to say she in a program, but she basically in a program with the, I don't know what them calling themselves, but a lot of people been calling the Lesbian Shield or the Dykettes.
The what?
Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, and what's the other girl? Sonya Deville.
She said this nigga said the Lesbian Shield. What? Well, I guess they are all well.
And the Dykettes.
Is Zoe Stark for sure one?
I mean, might as well be.
Yeah.
Hey man, just saying.
At first, I didn't think she was cute, but now I just seen her up close with the little figure reveal. I was like, oh yeah, she's not as cute as I thought she was. She got freckles and shit too.
Hey, that's all I'm saying, man. So all WWE don't be having these problems, but AEW seems like everybody got a problem with each other all the time. It's either A, you got a problem with this person and that person, and now we about to suspend you, or B, we just gonna take you off of TV and act like nothing happened.
Act like nothing happened.
Yep. That's how it send you to Castaway Island, as we used to call it. We're gonna send you to Castaway Island, like Sammy Guevara. That's why he's in a Ring of Honor now. So they could build him back up as a babyface. Ain't nothing to build back up. We don't want him. Nobody wants him on TV.
That's a babyface.
He's basically Big Show now. He done flip-flop back and forth babyface and heel so damn much. I don't care. He could do all the flips. Guess what? Everything that made him so cool in the beginning is not cool no more because we have like 30 of those same people who could do the same flips and shit he could do.
You know what? I'm gonna go back to something that you just said because I just paid attention to it probably like 4 days ago. God damn it! Did you know Big Show went heel babyface 4 times in 1 year?
I believe it.
In 1999, this motherfucker went heel babyface 4 different times. He started off the year when he first came in the company as a heel. 2 months later, he was kicked out the corporation. He became a babyface. 2 months after that, he joined the Undertaker and became a heel. A month after that, Undertaker got hurt and left. He became a babyface and won the world title. Then right after that, he became a heel again and joined Shane McMahon. What the fuck is going on? Like, god damn! Like,
Sammy Guevara.
1 year. How the fuck?
That's Sammy Guevara for you.
Shit, Sammy. Then your career is going downward.
Babyface, one moment, wins the TBS title, becomes a heel, loses the TBS title, becomes a babyface again, and then loses. Then he wins the TBS title back again, becoming a babyface, and then all of a sudden he leaves. Then he comes back as a babyface to team up with Jericho again, to turn on Jericho to become a heel, just for him to turn on Don Callis to become a babyface, then just to turn into a heel afterwards.
It's over. Go back to the Indies.
Go to the Indies, bro.
Ain't no saving you and Ty Conti. Go back. It's over. It's over for both of y'all.
Ty Conti been over with. She only.
I didn't know.
She just
not even no more. She's not even anymore. I ain't gonna say what I want to say. We'll get canceled, but not even anymore.
I see what. No, people be talking about some WWE fumble. What they fumbled? What they fumbled?
I didn't know this heifer was even at a WrestleMania before.
Yeah, she was in NXT.
I just found out she was at a WrestleMania, literally in a WrestleMania match. I was like, wait, what?
Was she in the Battle Royal?
It was either a Battle Royal or it was like an 8-woman tag, one of the two.
Okay, pretty sure the Battle Royal.
I just seen it like 2 weeks ago. Her name was what, Ty Mello or something like that? Or,
yep.
Fuck, what was her name?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Oh shit! I know she was at a Mania.
It's okay. A lot of people didn't either because she ain't do nothing good and she ain't never really been that good. She just a good looking face.
Good looking face, and they said she could do Muay Thai, and she was like a good at like martial arts and shit, but never seen any of that in the ring. I think
she's like a black belt or something like that.
Yeah, never seen any of it in the ring.
You know what's crazy?
What?
They basically fired her, and then WWE was like, you know what? Let's go get Lola Vice. Do the same thing. Let's get it right this time. And guess what?
Let's get it right this time.
Lola Vice looks better than her. Fights better than her. Got a better promo than her. Yeah.
I can't argue that one because I don't remember who Lola Vice is. She's in NXT.
Yeah. You when you go see Lola, you'll see. You wouldn't remember Lola.
You'll remember Lola.
You'll remember Lola. They was like, we don't want no Brazilian no more. We'll go ahead and take the Puerto Rican. Or Cuban. I think she's one of those. Puerto Rican or Cuban. I mix those flags up every time. Because they literally the same flags. They flip.
Me too. But, and then the women look the same. So
yeah. So yeah, that's really it. AEW wise, they just got a lot of problems in all this stuff. But
yeah, and it's all CM Punk's fault. I'm gonna keep saying that because they blame Punk for a lot of that bullshit for a good 2 years. They're ridiculous.
When he said, I work with a bunch of children, I already knew. I was like, oh yeah, I already know that. We knew that a long time ago. There's a bunch of children over there. When the prisoners run the asylum, oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
It's what you get.
That's what you get.
Now
look at him. Now look at him. Yeah, he had one of the most talked about matches of SummerSlam.
Positive or negative?
Positive. What do you mean?
I've seen some negative comments. I was like, what the fuck were you motherfuckers watching?
Yeah, a lot of people say that he watched and all. Actually, to me, I'm going to keep it honest before we get into this review of SummerSlam. This was the best story-driven SummerSlam that I've seen. Where like I said, like I mentioned before we even started recording, every match had a story, and I feel like every match played out perfectly. As of like the storytelling that was in the match was perfect. To me, if anything, the lowest I go, Triple H went 6 for 7, but be honest with you, I feel like he went 7 for 7. He didn't miss on any other matches. You always gotta have one match that was the worst match of the card, but it was 7 for 7 for me. Before we get into the reviews and everything, what's your thoughts on like the card? I know we both was texting throughout the whole show. We didn't like the crowd.
I hated the crowd.
I didn't really like the crowd for majority of the night. There were moments that they had good moments, but I'm pretty sure they weren't fully involved in it. There
were times where the crowd was just fucking cheering for, and nothing was going on. And then you would see people stand up like something was really happening, or somebody's about to come down the aisle. So I think something was going on in the arena. Like the beach ball type of thing, or some.
I found out it was like the lights. So like there was moments when the lights are just like shining in one of the crowds, and they're just chanting, "Turn off the lights, turn off the lights." And then they turned off the lights, and then the crowd just starts cheering. So those are random pops that you hear throughout the show.
Just it was hella of them. I'm like, God, what is going on?
And I think they kept. So there was a moment when I seen it where like the camera was in the rain, and on the big screen, the match wasn't being shown. It was just a green screen, and it was kind of like I know where I guess the match ends up popping back up on the screen. And in the crowd, you hear them again, starts cheering for some random moment. And you're like, what? Like, if you're not really paying attention to what's going on,
you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, you're like, why are they cheering? Like, what is going on?
Some people didn't even peep that the crowd was just randomly cheering. Yeah. But I just kept peeping, and I'm like, what the fuck are they cheering for? Nothing's going on. Like, it's a whole rest hole right now. Like, what are they cheering for? And then you see like 3 people like stand up and start looking that way. You're like, what the fuck are they looking at? Like, what is going on? Now I'm more intrigued about what's happening in the crowd than in the match. Because I keep hearing random ass cheers, but y'all won't cheer when y'all need to fucking cheer. Like a comeback. Right. That CM Punk comeback pissed me off.
Man, that was a clap. Like, he did 3 knees?
Yes. Yeah. And the crowd just did not make a sound.
No, okay.
But then he did something. I think he went to the top and did the Macho Man elbow, but he put his arms up, and then they start cheering. It's like, well, what the fuck? What are we?
Nah, I was saying before we ain't even gonna get to the match first, but like the fact that he did that and he didn't do the bulldog afterwards, I was like, you got to do the bulldog, the knee bulldog move.
He didn't do the bulldog, huh?
He didn't. He did 3 knees. No, he tried. Then he did the clothesline, and then he went for the Macho Man elbow.
Oh, he did the single arm clothesline, the duck under, pull him to it. Okay. I was like, what the fuck did he do? But that was trash. You got to do the bulldog.
After the bulldog.
You got to do the bulldog.
If we're going to be vintage CM Punk, let's be vintage CM Punk. Don't give me grizzled CM Punk. I want vintage CM Punk.
Don't give me grizzles.
Don't give me grizzles.
Right, let's start.
Yeah, man. First match, the match that we had most drama around it. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Went 15 minutes, 16 minutes to actually, we could just go 16 minutes. I round it up. Liv Morgan winning. So in the predictions, you said Dom was going to cost Rhea. We both agreed that Dom was going to cost Rhea. But you said on purpose. And I said accidentally. You were right. Because my man's he pulls the steel chair away from Rhea. Which, I'm like, okay, that's smart. Because, she can't win that way. I'm like, okay.
Right. But the way the camera angle was set up, I was like, he about to pull a chair.
Yeah.
You could tell. The camera angle purposely blocked off the right side, which is literally the apron, where he was about to get up to pull it. So I was like, he about to pull it. Yeah. Oh, we was right. All right, go ahead.
But then he slides the chair in the ring, yells at Liv. He yells at Liv, and he points at Liv. Like, points at the chair to Liv. Gets up on the apron, and then Liv hits
Who's the referee?
Yeah. The scratch referee, live his oblivion on Rhea on the chair. 1, 2, 3. Then the camera angle of Dom turning his back and smiling. So
Great.
while that's going on, the commentators are like, "Oh, Dom is a dummy. What is going on?" Like they're not
dumbass Dom.
Yeah, they're not
Pat
fully
with the
like
dumbass Dom is hilarious.
yeah, man. Pat McAfee, them boy, all three of them was on one the whole entire night. And then you see Dom picks up Liv. And I think I texted you at this rap moment. I was like, they're gonna give us
at the precise moment it was happening on my TV.
I was like, are we getting a Christian Trish Stratus kiss going on? Like that's what came to my mind was Christian, Trish Stratus, and Chris Jericho. That whole entire storyline. And wait, were you watching around that time?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, is that about to happen? And then at that moment, they make out.
And I said, well, yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. What's your thoughts on the match? What you got any like thoughts on it, or was there something that stuck out to you, or
okay, this is the most weirdest thing ever that stuck out, but I'm still gonna say it. As far as the match to me was great. The story was fucking amazing because you could kind of see that there's two ways that they were gonna possibly go with it. You know what I mean? So you knew where they were possibly going. That's what I'm gonna say with that. You know about the Swatch watch or the Jock's watch? You ever heard of that before?
The
Jock's watch. So it's like when a wrestler has to keep adjusting their like jocks or their trousers or their attire. They have to keep adjusting it. So Rhea is the one person that I was saying during the match. I was like, damn, she's the one person who just never adjusts her trunks. Like she can just have a wedgie the whole match and never adjust it.
Yeah.
But every time like Liv would move, Liv would adjust her shit. And I was like, damn, Rhea just will not adjust it. Then she finally did. I said, oh, there it is. She finally did it. She finally did it. It was at the very end of the match, and that's when the story was about to start. And I was like, okay. But then we got into the story, and I was like, damn, this fucking story is good. So Dom, I knew Dom was going to do it. Because the way he was acting during the match, he just kept looking at Liv with this look like, do I want to or do I not? It was like, that's how I was taking it. He kept, because there was one part where I think he moved Rhea out the way for a dive, and he took it. And then after she hit him, he kind of looked back up at her like, you know, the way he was just looking at Liv kind of gave me the signs. And I was like, that's fucking great for a guy as young as Dom to be able to pull off the facials to tell the story with it.
Right.
That's what got me into it. And then to see that at the very end when Rhea was just like seething, I was like, oh, yes, this is exactly where I wanted the story to take me. So as far as my overall critique, I have nothing negative to say about the match at all. The wrestling was crispy. There's no botches. I see no fuck ups. Besides, Rhea did pop out her shoulder. Her shoulder did get dislocated for real during the match. Mm-hmm. I got that news like during the second and third match, I think the Sammy match. And I was like, oh, she really did pop it out. So when she bust her shit into the announce table, she really did pop it back into place. Now, the second one she didn't. She just kept going with it. But the first one, she really popped it into place. And that's why Corey and them was like, oh! Like, they was really like...
They was like, y'all heard that?
They was like, yeah, they was jittery with it. But I was like, what the fuck? Y'all, hey, you guys are doing too much, but I guess. But when I found out she really did that, I'm like, oh, so it all makes sense. Yeah. So kudos to Rhea. Kudos to Liv Morgan for help pulling this shit the fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we could move on, but fucking great story.
Before we move on, I want to talk about beforehand, the entrance for Rhea. I enjoyed that setup of them like in that backstage walkthrough. I'm always a fan of that. We end up getting another one later on where we're going to talk about, but I like that. I love that entrance, how they kind of had that set up. I was like, okay, cool. All right. Referee had the camera on his ear. So they tried it once or twice. It wasn't that. I think it was the quality was kind of trash. The quality of it was trash, and it just looked like it was too much. But it was something they tried. I'm not against them trying something new.
They just need a different camera.
Yeah, and then we have more advertisers on the mat tonight. At SummerSlam than before. Usually just the Prime bottle. Last night was the Prime bottle. You had the Wingstop logo on there. And I
Mike's
think
Harder Lemonade.
No, it wasn't Mike's Harder. It was something else. It was like it wasn't Mike's.
Yeah,
it was a statement. I know that.
it was Mike's Harder's Lemonade, and then it was like a video game that was in the corner because then they advertised it on the outside as well on the outside LED boards. It was a video game.
But I'm talking about on the map. On the map.
I know.
It was like Wingstop.
It's 4 boom,
Prime.
boom, boom, and Prime in the middle.
And then it was like 2 statements. I can't remember what the statements were.
I thought the statements were the logos of the promos that they were.
Because it was actually like a saying. Like that's what I was like. It's a saying or something, like a slogan was written out on there. So
I have no clue what that was then, because I thought I seen the Mike's Harder Lemonade. I was like, why is the Mike's on the ring? I could be tripping.
That was on the LED. That was on the LED. I know that.
That shit was everywhere. That shit was everywhere.
Yeah, it was promotions everywhere, which made me go, this how you know WWE is a big fucking company. Like, they got ads everywhere.
Sponsors
everywhere.
Triple H said at the end during the press conference that this was the most sponsorship that they've ever had.
I believe it.
So I believe it too. So make that extra money. I ain't mad.
I'm gonna talk about something else that he said at post conference too later on.
Hold on, but just the only thing I want to mention at the end of the Rhea thing and Liv was the Buddy Murphy comments on X, because I texted you and I was like, damn, he fucked up. Like, this is an already ready-made story for him. All he had to do was just come in as literally the boyfriend or the new husband of Rhea. It was a ready-made story. Right. He signed that extra 3-4 year deal with AEW, so now he kind of stuck. But he posted on Twitter, hey, TK, can I go save mommy? Or is it okay to save mommy? Or something like that, to that effect. And I was like, that's fucking perfect. Too bad you really can't do it.
That would be great. That would be
fucking great.
But the next matchup on the card was Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. So from the predictions, we both said Braun. But I told you that they was gonna have the shortest match on the card.
Yeah.
They didn't even go 10 minutes.
No, they went 5.
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah,
of basically Braun Breaker whipping Sami Zayn's ass.
This is a squash.
I was okay with it. That first spear that Braun gave him, I think Sami was going for the Huluva kick, and Braun spears the hell out of him. And I'm like, yo, he's done. But then Braun was like, I want to make sure I put him away for real this time. And he revs up.
The fuck out of him for 4.
takes off the other rope, and just goes straight through him. I was like, damn. Sam, you got to step off the tracks when the train coming. you got to step off the tracks when that train coming.
Not if you kayfabe concussed, because this man been spearing you and hitting you with all kind of shit the whole 2 minutes of the beginning of the match. You're already fucked up.
Hey man, it was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, this is the first time I remember really seeing Sami like in this setting. I won't say in this setting, but in a while that he looks like somebody like underdog. Huh?
As a baby face.
As a baby face.
He's been in that position as a heel before, but not as a baby face.
As a baby face, looked not weak. I don't want to say weak, but outmatched.
Looked overpowered, yeah.
Overpowered. And now, just my question to you, because I also do want your reaction to this match. My question to you now is, was it the right option for Braun to lose that first match still?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
he should have won that first match.
We're sticking on
and this should have been the rematch where he still just killed him in 5 minutes.
And I told
you're building Braun. Like the whole thing is you're building Braun to be this big ass fucking megastar later on in his career, and the next like 4 years.
Right.
And Sami is already this guy, and you know what you can get with him. He's Mr. Reliable, and you know he's probably going to go on to that bloodline story in the next couple months.
Right.
So you're not really worried about that. It's not going to hurt Sami because again, we know where Sami's going and we know where he's been, so it's not going to hurt Sami. He had the longest title reign of his fucking career in the WWE.
Who?
This Intercontinental title run was the longest of his career in the WWE.
Sammy's?
Yes.
What?
So, yep. They said it on the post show last night. I was like, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was say this is like his third Intercontinental title. I want to say his second.
Second. Yeah, I don't know, second or third.
I'll say he had the title before the pandemic
when he was a heel and he had the hat.
And then he didn't come back. He didn't come back until they was in the Thunderdome when Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles was going for the Intercontinental title, and he came back.
The U.S. title.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the U.S. title.
Okay.
It was Intercontinental because he came back with the title because everybody forgot that he had the title before the pandemic.
Was that still the all-white belt, or was it the ugly one that we got now?
It's the ugly one.
Shit, I hate that fucking belt.
Because I would say the last person who had the white one was
the
Shinsuke.
Copper one.
Yeah.
Was who?
Last one who had the white one was Shinsuke.
Damn.
And then Sammy gifted him this new title to Shinsuke.
Yeah.
That's when Shinsuke, Sammy, and Cesaro was all in the stable together. And everybody was kind of like, why the fuck are they together? But okay.
Well,
it was a moment when they just needed people on TV. They was like, we're gonna put them on TV.
That shit. Yeah, that's a stupid ass combo. Goddamn it! Like, what?
That was right before Cesaro left, and like he had the stable, the program with Roman, and then he left.
Should have never left. That was a mistake.
But to me, I'm always going to stick to my statement of I feel like Braun and Ilya should have had that match at Money in the Bank for a number one contendership for Sammy. So we can still we'll have that story going there. And I think I also see where WWE is going with it as of a set of we don't want him to be constantly compared to Goldberg to the point where it's like, oh, he got the streak, he does the spear. Like that's going to happen no matter what. But at least you get rid of that thought of, oh, he has the streak. But I also could see them leading up to a match with him and Gunther, where it's like they've only been beaten by Sami Zayn. I could see that story being played out there. They're only two men.
At the Royal Rumble. Let's do it at the Rumble.
Okay.
Champion versus champion.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But you don't have it Braun defend his Intercontinental. He's just going for Gunther's title. Gunther already had the Intercontinental title. He don't want it no more. But Braun wants it all. He wants everything.
But what if Gunther just wants to embarrass him and take the Intercontinental title too because he feel like he can do it?
That'd be crazy.
But it's the Royal Rumble, so you can get away with a disqualification finish too.
Nah.
It's the Rumble. It's the Rumble. The Rumble's the main event match. You do not need to put the title on last, so you don't have to have a definitive winner. It's happened many of times.
That's true. But then we're gonna have to get another Braun versus Gunther match then.
Yeah, and we get one when it really means something where Braun can really beat him for the title.
Yeah.
Gunther ain't losing his belt no time soon.
He ain't losing. How do we get to that story? Braun turns babyface and Braun has beef with Ludwig Kaiser.
Have you been seeing like his little, especially after he won the belt, have you been seeing like his two little post interviews? They've been babyface like a motherfucker.
The one with Chris Van Vliet.
And the one on the post show last night after he won the title.
Yeah.
That was a babyface. He was giving Sammy so much props. He couldn't even put it in words how much props he was trying to give Sammy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you can't even articulate
I knew that from the interview on the Pat McAfee show.
That too.
He went on the Pat McAfee show. He was a babyface, basically, and I was like,
yeah. And when he speared the dude, after he speared the dude in the gym, he said something. Yeah, you know how like it's a football shit, but it was to get him over as a babyface. It wasn't a heel type of thing. It was like, your mother, you know what I mean? You know, you can't curse on TV, but you know what I mean.
He's a tough SOB, as Pat McAfee would say. Yeah. So any other thoughts on that match before we move on?
That match, no. That match was what it needed to be. I thought that should have happened the first time, but it is what it is. But I do think one thing though, there was not one single tag team match on this card.
Nope.
Not one. So I was like, okay, that's something to note and, say out loud.
Not mad at it, but
it's not needed.
Yeah, it's not needed. And
the tag team division.
I'm not going to, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I like tag team wrestling. I really do. But I feel like there's moments in wrestling where it's like we literally had this moment where women just need to be on TV all the time. We need to have women wrestling like there's a women's evolution, which I'm not against. 26. But then follow that, we had a tag team evolution where it was like tag team wrestling is the main thing of all TV. Like we just need to watch tag team wrestling. It's just so great.
AEW.
It was WWE and AEW, both of them. It was like because there was a moment where like that Uso New Day run, and they literally had like WrestleMania where they had like 8 tag teams on the show for the ladder match. They just had tag teams flux. So like there was just a moment of just tag team wrestling was great. That was packed in. Now we're getting to the part where storylines matter. Storylines always mattered, but
they're the driving force.
But now it's the main driving force of everything. So we're focusing on that right now. Tag team wrestling is kind of hard to work with when it comes to that a little bit because you got 4 people. But right now, WWE ain't that many tag teams up in there.
Exactly. And that's the issue.
It ain't that many tag teams to really tell a story with.
Unless they're forced.
DIY. Right now, I'm looking at on SmackDown alone. DIY, the Bloodline is up in there now. Pretty Deadly. Who else is there?
Street Profits.
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, who's probably gonna be breaking up soon.
Corbin and Apollo Crews.
Just a random tag team thrown together.
A random ass team.
The Good Brothers, who are always on NXT, who just floating around.
They just don't count. They don't count.
And I'm trying to
looking around like who else? Shit.
That's really it. Oh, Angel Garza and Humberto of LWO.
JD and Finn.
And then we get to the Raw side, JD and Finn.
SmackDown side.
Miz and R-Truth. AOP.
Still team?
Yeah. AOP. The New Day. Chad, the Gables. Not the Gables. What is it?
We know what you mean, the Creed brothers. I know what you meant, the Gables.
Wyatt Six. Who else? Otis and Tozawa. And that's 7 teams right there, but they're not. And I hate to say it,
ain't none of them interesting.
Ain't none of them popped out on the paper to me because really the only team that actually it's really like 3 teams that actually seem like real teams. Couple, I'll go ahead.
The Creeds, DIY, and Pretty Deadly. That's it.
Street Profits.
Nah, I'm ready for that to end. It's time for Montez. Somebody, you know what's so crazy? Somebody else said it. They called WWE crazy. I think it was Conan, of all people. Conan and Disco. They're fucking crazy. Like, how have you not made this guy one of, like, your top single stars? Like, it's fucking time. And I agree with him. Like, this guy shouldn't even be in a tag team no more. Dawkins, we could find him another partner. Where's Cedric Alexander? Like, you could find him another fucking partner. But Montez, it's time for him to hey, that's just my opinion.
I'm going to just say this. Before we move on, it was talks about no black people being on the card. I'm going to be honest. All the black people that we really want to see, Lily was on the card for like 2 or 3 years straight, bro. I'm not even going to lie to you. Street Profits been on the card, was on like every card all last year.
Every fucking card.
And
remember the War Raiders feud?
They've been ever since they've been on the main roster. They've been on every single pay-per-view, basically.
Correct.
Unless they was hurt. Bianca Belair was on the card all the time. She been on the card.
I think this is the first time that she wasn't.
She wasn't. She's always on the card. Like, and I mean, Bobby Lashley always hurt. So whenever he's not hurt, he's on the card though. Majority of the time, he's always on the card. Who else is there that's left that's black that makes a big difference? Omos was forced on the card always. He didn't fit in no way. He was always
he wasn't ready.
In the world of blue, he the paint. Like my man, he just sticks out like a sore thumb every time.
Giant Gonzalez was better than him.
Like that's really it that comes to mind right now. Ricochet, yeah. Ricochet was on story. He had stories. He wasn't really on every pay-per-view, but he always had like a raw story.
Yeah, so something going on.
He always had something going on. Sometimes he's not gonna be on the pay-per-view, but he had something going on. So this whole notion of like, Triple H wasn't gonna put no black people on his card, bro. We don't watch them so many times. Like, what if he forced now? This would have been a Vince McMahon thing to force New Day versus the Final Testament on there. Like, we don't need to see that. That ain't.
Who wanted to sit through that?
Ain't nobody want to see that. Oh, guess what? It's SummerSlam. We got to have a tag team eliminator to determine the tag team. We don't need to see that on SummerSlam. That could be on SmackDown. We don't need to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm just being honest. And I enjoy the Street Profits. But I don't want to see that right now. That's too much. 7 matches is great. Guess what? They ain't got no stories. Cool. We just saw Jade, and we just saw Bianca on SmackDown the night before SummerSlam. Guess what? That's good enough. I don't need to see them on every pay-per-view. Jade, it's reports now Jade is hurt. So that's a possibility right there. So I'm just keeping it real.
Is that why they lost the tag title?
No. Okay. I'm saying she got hurt this past Friday. That's the word. Okay. Ain't nothing really confirmed yet, but that's the word that she's hurting.
That's because they keep having her be the one to take the beatings in the match instead of Bianca. That's why.
Yes, I get what you're saying, but I think she needs to be the one taking the beating.
Nah.
First of all,
monster. She needs to learn. Yeah.
Jay just need to be in that ring. She just need to be in that ring. I don't care in what capacity we want to put a monster job or whatever. She need to be in that ring. She got to look for a star. But guess what? It's cool when you look like a star, but when you get close to it, it's shit. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The work might get better, but the movements I don't think are gonna get better. If you know what I mean. Like if you watch that, especially that match on SmackDown, again, she was taking most of the beating. Like some moves that she do, just movements, not even moves. So like the 2 steps that she'd take, it just looks like it's forced.
Yeah.
So say if somebody got her like this, right, and they're trying to pull her over to like the apron outside the ring. And like the 2 steps that she'd take just to get to the apron, it looks wonky. Like it looks a little funny. And I don't think that's ever going to be fixed.
To me, she just needs to be in there. She just needs to be. That's like a basketball player where if you've been playing basketball for a long time, you know, hey, I'm setting the screen. This person is jumping the screen. I might as well do a back cut. Guess what? If you don't play basketball like that or that much, you won't know that. So it's like, I feel like for her, she's like constantly just keep setting that screen, and she's still got to learn, hey, they're jumping the screen. Go ahead, take the back, do the back cut. Go ahead and slip it. Like little things like that. So for me, I'm like, she needs to stay in the ring. I don't need to put her on a pay-per-view for her to be, we're putting her in the ring. Brother, pay-per-view time is for people who know how to do what they need to do. Rhea been out in the ring for what? For how long? 4 or 5 months now? Rhea got in that ring and looked like she ain't had no rust.
Yeah,
she looked good in the ring. Like she knew what she was doing. Like she knew where she needed to be and how things are supposed to be set up.
She looked like she'd been doing this for some years.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, I don't SummerSlam ain't the place for us to be, I gotta pack Bianca and Jade up in there against Aladon and Alpha Fire. People, the champions that no one cares about. You probably don't even know who I was talking about when I said it until I said tag team champions. That's being dead ass. No one cares about them. No one cares about those titles. Right now, we just sitting here in limbo with Bianca and Jade till Jade turns on Bianca, or the other way. Either one, I'm okay with either one being the heel. Just being honest. But we're gonna go ahead and move on
I'm okay with both of them being a heel and having a stable. And pushing that for like another year or two.
Let's bring back Team Bad.
I don't know who was all on that team. I don't remember.
It was Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina. That's when they had the evolution thing.
Naomi's still there, but Tamina is doing makeup in the back and then you know where Mercedes Moné is.
We have Naomi, Jade, and we have Bianca as Team Bad. Beautiful and dangerous. That's all it stands for. Team Beautiful and Dangerous.
Black and dangerous. Black and desired.
I don't know why we ain't got a stable yet of Jade, Bianca, Naomi, and the Street Profits.
Yeah.
So I think that would just make it easy. I think that would be a great setup.
In the words of Rikishi, are you trying to break up their marriages?
Yes. I don't care.
Bianca's in Angelo Dawkins?
What?
No, I'm saying, are you trying to break up their respective marriages? Not Bianca, but Jade and Angelo Dawkins.
No, they just in the group together.
No, I'm talking shit, number one.
No, I know.
I'm saying it like if I was Rikishi, are you trying to break up their marriage?
In my mind, I'm like, why? First of all, I saw that. I'm like, Rikishi, are they not adults? Because they work in a storyline? That means their relationship is going to break up? Like what does that have to do with anything?
He's been in the back before, and he knows where those things lead, a.k.a. Edge and Lita. Like, he knows where those things can lead to.
First of all, I don't even remember Edge and Lita having a storyline before they even did anything.
I didn't. Or I think they did, but it was like a Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian story. And Edge and Christian had Rhino.
No, I just remember how that happened was Matt got hurt and Lita was still working. They was cool on the road. Like
I'm not saying they had a storyline at that time, but I'm just saying where it could always lead to, because you're there, you're on the road, and you're not at home. You're in these hotels every day with these people. So
clearly, Rikishi don't believe in his own son and his own son's he don't believe in his own son, his own
40-year-old son, because we're the same fucking age. So he don't believe his 40-year-old son can handle it.
No, he don't believe it. He's like, Rhea is too tempting for him to be. Jay is too. Rhea is too tempting, and Jay is too weak to deny that temptation. That
especially with somebody of Rhea's caliber.
Let me get Dr. Umar's on the phone. Let me get Dr. Umar's on the phone.
There must be a difference in the looks between the wife and Rhea or something.
Hey man, Jay need the Snow Bunny Boogeyman to come knock at his door. That's all I'm gonna say.
The Snow Bunny Boogeyman.
That's what he.
The Snow Bunny Boogie Woman.
No, gotta call Dr. Umar's because he got a brother trying to date that Snow Bunny. Gotta call him.
Ain't nobody taking Dr. Umar's advice no more. This ain't 2015.
I'm gonna call him for this moment. Let's get him on WWE. All right, next match was Logan Paul.
Yeah, because I'm like, we only 3 matches in, and we're an hour into the show.
Yeah. Are we? Jeez. Oh, my God. All right. Let's go ahead and knock it out. Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. title. Right result. That's exactly what everybody needed. We both agreed on LA Knight. I said it was going to be the best match of the night. You know what? Wrestling-wise, it was the best wrestling match of the night to me. Not the best story, but best wrestling match. I enjoyed the fight before the match. I enjoyed the actual ring, the ring work. One thing that really stuck out to me was LA Knight pull out one of his old moves where he jumps from the middle rope to the top rope for the elbow, which is crazy. And he hit it was supposed to be a top rope suplex, but it really turned into a top rope brain buster. And then Logan Paul did this springboard moonsault that was so nasty. I had to go back and watch it on replay. I just had to put it on replay where there's a moment when the camera looks at LA Knight. Camera looks at Logan Paul, and right before the camera
goes on the floor?
Back, yeah.
Okay.
Right before the camera goes back to LA Knight, the camera like swings back because Logan Paul literally instantly just did it. Like springboard, boom. And he glided through the air with it. So smooth. LA Knight checks on him instantly, like, oh, bro, you good? Like, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was the buckle. It was the buckle.
What do you mean?
Because once he got done
his
hitting
knee
the
buckle.
yeah, his knee buckle, and LA Knight fell on the knee. So LA Knight tried to like not put all his pressure on it, and the way he bounced back, bro, you're all right, you're all right. Like you could see it. He was like, oh shit, he checked on him very quick to make sure he was good. But he was good. Right. It was a good move. You could see the legs shaking though right before he bounced off the rope. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I kind of got nervous because the leg went like that right before he jumped off. I was like, oh shit. Please let him land this shit. Like, you don't want to see him fuck up live on TV like that. But nah, good shit for Logan Paul. I'll say this. He got his ass whooped a few times during that match, or really during the whole match. And I mean for real. Like, he took that nasty bump on the table where the table didn't break, and you could tell he was hurt because he was like, oh, fuck. You could tell he was hurt.
That sucked for both of them. I was like, yo, LA, you ain't that young. You ain't that young to be hitting that move like that.
Yeah. And then the brain buster. After the brain buster, you could tell that Logan Paul was kind of hurt. And, like, he kind of screamed after he hit. He's like, oh! Like, once he hit, he made a noise, and I was like, oh, shit.
Since you're the one who actually got in the ring, whose fault was that?
Nobody's fault. Because the sweat.
I said it was Logan Paul's fault.
The sweat could have made him slip to the point where LA Knight couldn't get him up as smoothly to get him over.
Go look at it again. Go look at it again. Because I say, from what I see, Logan, like, you know, I ain't got the figures right now to really show it, but with my hands, Logan comes over and he kind of just stalls. He just sits there. He doesn't like, and his legs are bent the whole time. So he's literally bent the whole entire time. He's not like flying through the air. It sounded like.
So which means that they were supposed to do a spot where he held him in the air. Gotcha. He was supposed to hold him in the air because what would happen if you're going to do a regular suplex off the top, it's one motion. It's not a stop motion. Unless the guy didn't want to go and you just got to pull him over like, fuck it, and we got to go, then that's where I could see the stall happens to where it could become a brain buster. But if not, that looked like they were supposed to, and he was supposed to get his legs up higher so they could hold it there. But they didn't hold it there that long.
Yeah. Because I was saying his leg, because if you go back and look at the replay, his legs are still bent the whole entire time. They never moved. He just sat there, and then when LA Knight's he's going over, Logan Paul's legs are still bent. And I'm like, damn, this motherfucker, I don't want to say sandbagged him, but it's like he's just sitting there and he's like, fuck it, here we go.
Now you can't, even if you wanted to, you couldn't sandbag him once you were already in the air.
Right.
How you gonna sandbag him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it had to be a situation where
I'll say the rotation wasn't all the way there. There was
there was a break. It was a stoppage. He didn't. Yeah. It wasn't one motion. It was a stoppage at the peak, which means he probably was supposed to hold him up for a couple seconds and then drop him back. Right. But since he couldn't get him elevated up, he was just like, "Fuck it, we going down."
Yeah, a lot of people. I saw a lot of people complain about like how all the other matches, Logan Paul uses brass knuckles and he knocks them out and and this time he hit LA Knight and LA Knight just brushed it off. To me, it's a difference because LA Knight got hit in the head. All the other times, Logan Paul knocks you out. Huh?
That's what I'm saying. He hits you in the jaw.
This time he just literally just hits him in the head.
It was a wrestling trick that always happens. If you pick him up for like a side suplex, boom, one arm over the shoulder, you pick him up for a side suplex, and he just real quick before you drop him, you could see how he's not gonna knock him out because it's a quick It's not a wind up, bam. It's a difference. Yeah, it's a quick and it's not even where you can get a quick jab where the jab is enough to knock you out. It's a quick and so you can see why he kicked out. I don't see what the big deal is with that one.
Yeah.
Compared to the way he be sleeping motherfuckers with that right hand. I know he hits him on the clavicle, but goddamn, every time
that thing be winded up, bro.
Yeah, it be looking devastating.
But let's move on to the next match. We almost through the card right now. Bayley versus Nia Jax. for the women's championship.
You were right.
Yeah, I called it. I said Nia. You said Bayley. I love that Bayley had the hugger attire kind of set up. Kind of called back to that. Yeah, the crowd got into it a little bit in this one, but great showing by Bayley. But Nia Jax wins. Love that they had to play out of Stratton runs out with the Money in the Bank. But then she ends up getting knocked off the apron by Bayley. I think Nia hit Annihilator earlier in the match, and Bayley kicked out. And I was like, and everybody was like, whoa. So Nia literally hits her with, I think she hit her with 2 power bombs.
Two angry power bombs, and just dragged her ass to the corner for a bonsai drop.
2 of them.
Yeah, well, it was 2 of them. It was 2.
And they weren't like the real one, the ones that looked like they hurt. It looked like she, stopped herself before she went.
No, they just looked angry. They looked angry.
And yeah, we got Nia Jax winning the title, which I didn't know. This is her second title, her second women's title. It surprised me. I was like, oh, snap.
Mandela effect, huh?
Huh?
Mandela effect, huh? You think she won more. I thought she had way more than that.
But she said, they was like, this is her second title. I was like, second title? She won one at WrestleMania against Alexa Bliss. And after that, I was like, damn, she didn't win the title yet. Since then, that was the last time she won a title. I was like, okay, I guess. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. And I love the story that we're going to be getting out of this with Stratton as the Money in the Bank winner and Nia as the champion. I'm eager to see where that goes, and I'm eager to see where Bayley goes from here. What do we do with Bayley?
I don't know where Bayley goes from here. If you're noticing, the horsewomen are dying out.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. The horsewomen are fading away.
They're dying out, and it's shit. Are they even fucking there? Becky is at home, and we don't know when she's coming back. Charlotte, that injury can't last that long. She just, who knows what she's doing. We see what Mercedes Moné is doing.
We all know what she's doing.
She's collecting that check?
The case is getting built. The Charlotte in the Bank case is getting built right now. That's what's happening. She's getting a reboot. She's getting updated. That software getting updated. That's what's happening.
For next year?
Next year's Money in the Bank? So when she show back up, she don't need next year's Money in the Bank, brother. It's when she shows up is when she's going to cash it in. I'm the head of the... Remember what you said now? There is no line. I am the line. Okay, Charlotte. You right.
So as soon as she get back, she gonna beat Nia Jax for the title as soon as she get back?
Whoever that's holding that title. You only...
Whenever she comes back, she's on the ultimate part-time schedule. Like, it's almost ridiculous. The only one still kind of going is Bayley and Sasha. And Sasha's not really doing too good in AEW.
And Bayley, the problem is
she looks like the grizzled vet. She looks like Natalya now.
Well, the problem is, she's getting in that section because we don't know what Bayley's, I don't want to say gimmick is, but like we don't know, like how do we relate to Bayley now? She's the role model. Okay, what does that mean?
Nah, she's just BBL Bayley, dog. Right?
Yeah, at this point now she's BBL Bayley because she's not the role model no more. She's not the hugger Bayley no more. So what is she? Grizzled young vet. She's a grizzled vet Bayley now.
She's thick ass Bayley. Like that's the only thing that the dudes really look at her at. Like besides, she can go, but she thick ass Bayley.
Yeah.
When you really think about that shit, and it's like, fuck, that's not good enough. We need something else.
Yeah.
You're Bayley, dog. Like you were one of the best 4 horsewomen. Now you're the only one left in this company. Whatever. Hopefully she gets better. Yeah.
We get into the next match. We got into CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. The best story match that's in the whole entire card that everyone was talking about. I think we both were wrong. We both said CM Punk was going to win the first one.
Did I?
Yeah,
but I kept preaching that Drew should win it.
But you said Seth going to cost Drew. You said we said Seth was going to cost Drew.
Because I was afraid that they were just going to have Punk win it. And I'm like, Punk shouldn't win it. Because even before that last show that we did, I kept saying, like, Drew should win that first one. He was like, should he? Well, then how we get to Bad Blood, and then what do we do at Bash in Berlin? I'm like, well, I don't give a fuck, but Drew should really win that first one.
That makes sense. But either way, I was okay with either result. I thought CM Punk was going to win because that was his first match, which I didn't know he left in Cleveland. Like, last time we seen him was Cleveland. And they was like, that was his first singles match. Since 2014. I want to say 10 years, they said.
Mm-hmm.
So I was intrigued. Great
I don't
match.
even remember what that sings match was on Raw. I don't even remember.
I'm pretty sure it was against Dean Ambrose.
Oh, no, it was the 2-on or 3-on-1 against the Shield.
That was his last match. Okay.
They said it was the 3-on-1 against the Shield, and he won because he had a distraction with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and he got the pin on Dean Ambrose.
So we got Punk basically getting his ass whipped this whole match. He really got his ass whipped.
No, not true. He was whipping Drew ass at the beginning of the match. The first 5 minutes was Punk.
You're right.
And then, like, the next 10 minutes was all Drew. Drew was beating the fuck up, which I thought that's how it should have went. Drew's the bigger guy. Right. Drew needed to dominate this match because Drew's more angrier, too, than Punk is. And then Punk said in one of his interviews that, I don't know if I can beat him, but I could goddamn hurt him.
Yeah.
So, and when he said that, that's what made me like, fuck, yes, maybe we're going to get the Drew win here. Because now he's kind of conceding that I don't know if I can beat this monster, but damn it, I'm going to beat your ass like you're going to beat my ass. You might get the 1, 2, 3, but what have you?
Right. But really the story of the whole entire night, story of that match, a lot of people was going, we was comparing it, everyone was comparing it to SummerSlam 97 with Brett, HBK, and Undertaker. Love the callbacks.
How could you? How could you not with all the Easter eggs that we got?
Love the callbacks. Punk in his Bret Hart gear, Drew in the all black, Seth is in the Shawn Michaels gear. We had the spot where Drew tells
with bedazzlement.
There's a point where Rollins is on the turnbuckle. He's just chilling up there while they're beating the hell out of each other outside. But like then Sean. They get into the match. They get into the ring, and Drew has a chair. He comes, grabs a chair. Seth takes the chair away from him. He swings. Mrs. McIntyre almost hits Punk. But the real story of the whole match was the bracelet. And a lot of people called it dumb, but I thought it was great. CM Punk has shown throughout this whole entire time leading up to the pay-per-view that this bracelet means something to him. It's important to him. It don't have to be important to you, but it's important to him. And if you've never had something like that in your life, you're missing out. When there's something that's so little to someone else, but it's so important to you. So it ended up being his detriment, though. It ended up being killing him and not killing him, but causing him in this match. With him taking the bracelet from Drew, I think Drew ends up hitting a Claymore, or he ends up doing something to Drew. And basically, Punk drops the bracelet, and then Rollins picks up the bracelet and puts it on his wrist. And once I saw him put it on his wrist, I was like, oh, man, why he do that? Just put it in your pocket, Rollins.
So you've seen him put it on his wrist?
Yeah.
I didn't see him put it on his wrist. I was like a fan. I didn't peep that part until when Punk went for that pinfall and stopped because he seen it on Seth's wrist. And I was like, oh, shit. So that's what made it even doper for me.
He dropped it, and I was like, is Rollins about to kick that out the ring, or is he going to pick it up?
I thought he did.
And then I saw him pick it up.
Picked it up.
And he see him pick it up and put it on his wrist, and I was like, oh, no. And then out of nowhere, Punk sees that he got it on his wrist, and that leads to a GTS. Actually, he hit Seth with a GTS, and then he says a statement. He was like, "It's not always about me, but it's never about you." And I was like, "Okay, all right." That's that line. I feel like that line is gonna come back up later.
It's gonna turn Seth Rollins heel.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it's going to be a part of it because we're definitely getting Punk versus Rollins at WrestleMania.
Absolutely, not a question.
So, but McIntyre hits Punk with a low blow, and Seth counts. When he does the count, he does like the HBK hesitation. That I remember him doing the hesitation when he goes to count for Brett. He does 1, 2. He kind of hesitates. He's like 3, and Seth does the same thing. The 1, 2. He's looking right at McIntyre. Hesitates 3. And then
now, can you explain that to me? Because I didn't understand that part. That's just like if Undertaker would have got the pinfall, right? And then you got the 1, 2, hesitation 3. In this, you know what I mean? It's like, well, why did you do that with him? He's not the guy who just hit you with a GTS. The guy who hit you with a GTS should have been happy to count that 3.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the part that I didn't get. And I was like, that maybe he should have just counted that 3 instead of that hesitation. I get we doing the HBK callback, but it didn't make sense.
To me, he didn't like either of them. To me, he didn't like neither one of them.
But Drew didn't Claymore you.
That is true.
With GTS.
That is true. That is true. But to me, I'm like, okay, I can see where it's equal hatred amongst all 3 of them. It's not like Seth just hates CM Punk more than McIntyre. He hates them both equally. Like he just hates both of them. He doesn't. Really. So that's
was you listening? Hold on, wait. Was you listening to the dialogue during the match? Because the dialogue during the match was obviously you hate him more than you hate me. Yeah. This is coming from Drew.
Yeah.
We know that we know you hate him more than you hate me. So just turn your back and let me do it. Just turn your back. And then he turned his back, but then he came and grabbed the chair right afterwards.
Yeah.
There was subtle dialogue throughout the whole match where Seth was like, nah, fuck Punk. Drew, do what you want to do. Fuck that nigga. You know what I mean? It was more of that.
But then he had the same thing. He had the same
It wasn't dialogue. The same energy. It wasn't the same energy.
That's what I said. Not the same energy, but the same dialogue to when Punk was doing stuff to McIntyre. So it kind of was like, that's why I took it as, okay, he just don't like neither of them. I think it plays into the fact that McIntyre keeps saying it, that Seth Rollins is a attention junkie. That's all he is. He just wants the spotlight on him all the time. Anytime there is a big feud, Seth Rollins always wants to be involved in it. So I think that all plays into, just like you said, Rollins is going heel. He's going to turn heel. And I feel like this all is going to play into it. That statement of, it's not always about me, but it's never about you, is going to come into a big play into it because he is an attention junkie. That's just what he is. He comes into you're a special guest referee, and you come in there with bedazzled pants, you know everybody's going to be staring at you.
This is my ring. You listen to me.
He kept saying that. This is my ring. This is my rules. He wants it always about him. So I feel like that story is just going to continue to play out. But right now, we're going to lead into a Punk versus McIntyre, part 2. We got to lead into that. Is it going to happen?
You know what? I'm at a part right now where I'm ready for the triple threat, and let's get it out the way.
Yeah, I'm okay with just doing that at Bash in Berlin. Knock it out.
Yeah, just knock it out, and then you go to part 2 with Punk and Drew at Bad Blood. But now you said we need to sell. We need to sell. We can't. We
need Hell in Cell. I need Hell in Cell. No Punk. I need no Rollins. That's Punk's whole thing. I'd be okay with Punk losing at Bash in Berlin. And he takes the pinfall because Seth Rollins gave him the stump and Drew just gets the 1, 2, 3 over Punk. And CM Punk's is like, literally, you only beat me because Rollins was in this match. I'm done with the games. Hell in the Cell. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. It gives him an out.
Gives him an out of why he lose. Why he lost twice. He technically will lose twice to Drew McIntyre to CM Punk's 1.
Well, no, he lost the first one because of himself.
No, I'm saying, but overall record of Drew still has a two wins over Punk.
Right. And then with the rest were, go ahead, finish off.
No, go ahead.
I'm switching up. No, I was gonna switch it up and say the debate, or it's a very small portion of the wrestling community that's saying stuff about how he looked winded during the match, how he looked gassed. I didn't see it. Yeah. I didn't see it at all. I mean, I was looking for I'm not gonna lie, and I'm a Punk fan, but I was looking to see if there was gonna be any weakness in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for it. Let's make sure you don't get hurt, and let's make sure that you don't botch nothing.
Right.
Like those were the two things that I was mainly looking for. He didn't botch nothing that I seen, and he didn't get hurt.
Right. There was a point though where I was like, okay, I was like, he looks kind of he might look tired. He looked winded. I know and I was like, because there's a point where he's on the ground. I think this is right when McIntyre is going to go get a chair. And I'm like, this is the break Punk needed. he needed that break just because you could tell he was huffing and puffing. And he breathing hard. I'm like, he needed this break for Punk. He needed Drew to go get that chair. Take his time. Go ahead, take as much time as you need, just so he could get back in the ring. So, but there was a moment, I want to say that at the very beginning, I think Punk is in the corner and Drew is stomping at him and stomping at his arms.
Forearms, at his arms.
And you could tell Punk said something rather than move because Drew picks him up and you could tell I heard him say something, but I couldn't really get directly what he said. But I could hear him say something to McIntyre.
Just the next spot.
Yeah, either maybe next spot or I don't think he was sitting there complaining about anything. Nah. I know he said something afterwards. But I'm not gonna say he wasn't gassed. I'm not gonna say super gassed. But you could tell he had ring rust. Like not ring rust.
Nah, you could tell we've seen the ring rust. The match with Hangman Adam Page. We've seen the ring rust.
His cardio wasn't the best. That we've seen of CM Punk before, but we have to understand that he's not the old CM Punk.
That CM Punk is 47 years old. He hasn't had a real one-on-one match in this company in 10 years, probably 2 years when it comes to just a regular wrestling match. And then you got to understand, too, this shit is not easy. Like, it's like running on the basketball court. Your first game back, you're going to fucking be winded. Like, that's what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in the ring, it's the same thing. You're going. Like, you only have one. And now there's no rest spots like that.
Right.
At least back in the day, there were little rest spots that put you in a little sleeper hold for like 5 minutes, catch your breath, a little nerve grip to catch your breath. It's none of that. You're just going. So I understand, but I still didn't really see parts where he was just gassed and he couldn't go. I didn't see it.
Oh, I'm not gonna say he couldn't go. I just know there's a point when I was like, ooh. He did need that break to catch it. Like I said, he needed a break to just catch himself. Which is not. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just know
Drew could have been trying to blow him up. Who knows?
Yeah, good.
I can work circles around you, Punk. I'm gonna blow you up. You can try. All right. You know what I mean? Who knows? So anyway, still great.
Get into the co-main event. Get into the co-main event of Damian Priest.
You didn't say how you felt about it before we go into the co-main event.
What you mean?
Great match, great story.
I said the best story.
There you go.
Yeah, best story. Yeah, you know. Great match. Damian Priest versus Gunther, the co-main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. What was said? Because I got my notes.
From me? That this should be the quickest match on the card?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
You said, yeah.
We both said the fastest match on the card.
We both agree. You said 10 minutes. I said it was going to be 15, over 15. So it ended up being 16. Like 20. It was 16 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay. Now, hold on. Before you keep going deep in, how many times in this match did you just feel like it was a waste of air?
What do you mean?
There was a lot of breaks in this match where it was just bullshit, filler, waste of time. Times where either Damian Priest were about to do a move and then he'd back away and then go pant to the crowd. It'd be times where Gunther would do the same thing after a couple hard shots, then he'd back up and then he'd go pant to the crowd. It was a lot of dead spots in this match where I was like, y'all could have shaved that out. That right there would have been the 10 minutes and we could have been out of
here. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It was a lot of pandering.
A lot of playing to the crowd. I would say there was a lot of those moments. But the breaks in between what was going on, it made me go, all right, what's next? But then I was like, what followed usually was like, God dang. That usually was my follow. Because I think there was a moment when First of all, Gunther already came in the match with his chest beat red already.
It wasn't beat red, but he had the scratches from Monday.
It was like dots. It was like dots all over.
He already had the scratches. You could tell they were scabs. They were scabs from Monday, where the blood had to start healing up.
Damien went to chopping the shit out of his chest, and it started bleeding. I was like, okay, we getting up in, all right. Gunther gets the blood. He sees it. He's like, because I saw it. I'm like, okay, wait, it's starting to bleed. Then the commentators mentioned it. It's starting to bleed.
But it took Gunther a long time to know that he was fucking bleeding.
Yeah.
It took him a good 5 to 7 minutes to notice that he was fucking bleeding.
And he went like this, rubbing in his hair, and went to chopping the mess out of Damien. And I was like, oh, man.
Did you see the cut, though?
What do you mean?
The cut from where the blood was coming from on his chest.
Yeah. It was
deep. Yeah. It was like a gash. So you could tell, like, when he chopped him, like, he got nail ripped flesh. Like, because that shit was deep. I was like, oh, I see why that shit was bleeding. That's kind of deep. That's like a puncture wound.
Right. So they went back and forth. Then Balor shows up. And at that point, I was like, yeah, he's about to turn on him. Which I already knew it was coming. It was already coming. We all knew it was coming. But the way it went down, I was like, whoa, okay. Gunther kicked him in the face, and Priest went on his rally, hitting and everything. A lot of people was upset about this part. Priest hits his finisher, and he goes to pin Gunther. And I guess Gunther didn't roll far enough.
No, that's how you knew something was going on. It wasn't that Gunther didn't roll far enough. When he hit the South of Heaven finisher, Gunther rolled, but he had to roll him one more time to get him close to the rope so Finn can put the leg on the rope.
Yeah.
Like that I didn't see no fuck ups there. You seen what was coming.
I didn't see it a fuck up, but a lot of people was upset, like, oh, he rolled him. I'm like, bro, that's wrestling. That's like he's trying to get
put him on the back.
Yeah, he gotta get him on his back. And then I'm like, first of all, Gunther has long legs, but you have to understand Finn is a short man. So Finn basically had to throw half his whole body in the ring to get his leg over the rope anyway. In the first
he did. And he used all his strength to pick up that one leg to throw it over the damn rope.
And I'm like, bro, if he was further away from the rope, his damn body is in the ring at that point.
Right.
So I'm okay.
And you can only do it in you only have to do it in 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds to do it.
And I'm like, I'm happy with Damien pushing him. Because goddamn, it looked like it took everything out of Balor to get there in that spot. So he puts his leg on the rope, and I love this. I love that WWE is doing this now. They do the replay, and Priest is looking at it from the replay. He doesn't already know that Balor did it. He finds out by looking at the replay, by having a fucking brain. That's how it works.
Yeah, by having a fucking brain.
He looks at the screen, and he's like, "What the?" Because the whole time Balor has his back turned to him, the whole time. And I'm like, "Yo, what? Okay, what is Damien gonna do in response?" And Gunther, he follows up with the sleeper hold. I'm like, "No way, that's just it." He's mad now, but Gunther's gonna put him in the sleeper hold. He fights back and stuff. And he goes to choke him. I think Priest gets out of the chokehold, and Priest goes to, he guzzles.
Priest gets out the chokehold. He hits, 2 moves.
No, he didn't even hit 2 moves.
I think he did hit a move. He hit a move, and he back to the corner.
By 1, 2.
He got out the move. He hit him. He hit a move and got to the corner, to this far corner, and then darted that way and went straight towards Finn.
Yeah.
And Finn was like, oh, shit, what the fuck? And then that's when he got again for, I think, another chop and then a sleeper hold. No, a power bomb or 2 and then a sleeper hold. The game was over.
Yeah.
The game was over. But he hit a move after he got out that sleeper hold.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if you go back and look at Balor's face, when Damien goes to choke him, he's smiling the whole time. Like, I know what I just did.
Not when he first grabbed him. When he first
grabbed him, he was like, and then after a while, he saw Gunther coming. He started smiling, right. And I was like, okay, but yeah, I enjoyed that match. Like I said, and I'm not gonna say I predicted it, but I was like, I think this is gonna be the best match we see from Priest. To me, that was his best match. Story wise, Story wise, and I don't want to say in ring wise, but that was one of the best matches he had. He actually looked like a beast, like a monster up in there. Like he could go toe to toe with Gunther. He didn't look like a scrub. Like why does he in this? Because a lot of people, even myself, I was like Priest and Gunther. I'm not really urged by that match, but I'm happy to say I'm wrong in this instance because this match was actually pretty good to me.
All Gunther got to do is beat the fuck out of you, and you could have a great match. If you allow Gunther to beat the shit out of you in a match, and you make your shit look good when you get your strikes back, you can have one of your best matches ever in your career because it looks real. Because Gunther just gonna beat the fuck out you and then hit you with some basic wrestling moves, and that's gonna be the match. He gonna body slam you. He gonna power bomb you. He gonna sleeper, and he gonna put you in some type of
classic moves. He ain't doing nothing
classic
extra.
moves.
He ain't doing nothing extra. He ain't doing nothing fancy that you ain't never seen before. It is just old classic moves. Some shit that you would see from a VHS tape.
Right. But he might chop you harder than you've ever been chopped before. And
the worst part is,
you harder than you've ever been forearmed.
You don't know how the match is going to end. You don't know if he's going to hit you with the power bomb. You don't know if he's going to hit you with a giant splash off the top rope. You don't know if he's going to just put you in a Boston leg crab. Like, you don't know what you're going to get from him. He's going to finish you off however he think he can finish you off. And in this moment, power bomb, sleeper. Done.
Game over.
Game over. Give me the title. I'm going to get up out of here. That's how he rolled. And I'm okay with it. And I don't need to have a signature way I know he's going to put you away. I'm okay with that. But yeah, any last thoughts before we move into the main event?
No, it was actually a great story as far as the Judgment Day breaking up part 2, if you will. And then, of course, we knew Gunther was going to win, but how could Gunther carry Damian Priest to a great match? Because at first people were not enthralled with it. So I think they both did a great job. I still think that there was a lot of fluff in the match that could have been cut out, like 5 minutes of it, and still would have been even more awesome match. But I got nothing to complain about. Still, good job for Damian Priest. Showed that maybe he can last as a main eventer if he ever gets that chance again. But we know the guy is Gunther. So we're in the new era. Let's go with the Imperium era, and let's see where we go from here.
So now we get into the main event: Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Bloodlines Road match. Before we get to the match, we had a little walkout with Cody Rhodes. I enjoyed that walkout. Solo came out by himself and everything, and I was like, should he be in this main event? How I didn't really know how to feel about it. I was like, is it time for him to be a main event star like that? But anyways,
should Punk and Drew had win last? No, I'm kidding.
No, maybe I never know. Cody came out with the dog. He did the walk, and we got to see him talk to Arn Anderson. And Arn Anderson, old Glock 30, Arn Anderson was like, got some friends coming through, and all I thought about was I don't know if it was an interview or I can't remember what it was. When he was like,
it was an AEW promo.
No, not when he pulls out the Glock on him. We talking
about pull out a Glock. He just talked about it.
He put out a handgun towards Cody's head and was like, bang. I would have done that to the person somebody tried to rob me. Hey, the legend of Arn Anderson. It just gets even cooler. Double A. But Cody said something about he want a manager, an old school manager. And I'm like, bro, come on, bring Arn Anderson back. And just see Arn on WWE TV, I was like, oh, okay. Because there was reports that he was leaving AEW, which is cool, which I'm like, great. So I feel like he needs to be Cody's manager. So for the next pay-per-view for Cody, Arn need to be in his corner for me. What do you think about that?
Why?
Before we get into the match. Huh?
Why? We tried that before, it didn't work.
What do you mean?
So what makes us think it's going to work this time? And we tried that in AEW. It didn't work. So what makes us think it's going to work this time?
First of all,
with the babyface manager. You know what I mean? Like,
it didn't work in AEW because that is something that is against everything that AEW goes for. That's why. That is
but at that time they were trying to go old school and try to implicate a lot of old school things, like the ranking system. They were trying to implicate a lot of old school shit in AEW at the time. It just didn't work. And Cody was in control of his own shit.
We knew it wasn't going to work.
How did we know it wasn't gonna work?
We knew it wasn't gonna work.
This is 2018, 19. How did we know it wasn't gonna work?
It wasn't gonna work. That because it only worked because everybody was in the lovey-dovey stage of AEW. Everything just looked so good and everything was so cool and so alternative. It wasn't gonna work. Guess what?
So what makes them think it's gonna work now?
If you told me back then, if I could get a Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in his corner versus Cody Rhodes and Arn Anderson in his corner, I'd be like, man, that'd be that'd be a great match.
And they both baby faces?
No. Just heel. One's heel, one's baby face.
Who's the heel?
I'll be okay with that. Huh?
Who's the heel?
Either one. At this point,
that kind of doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Either one.
I just don't see how the Arn Anderson thing would kind of work with the WWE presentation of him. Like, I don't see how that works.
We can have it set up where Arn ends up turning Cody Hill. That's okay with me too. Because everyone knows it. Everyone knows Roman is number one. He's the number one babyface. At this point now, he's the number one babyface. Cody is 1B. Like, there's nothing against it. Or if you want to just say he's number two, he's number two. There's nothing against it. But in this situation, we have a Rock and Stone Cold scenario now.
In this case, we have a Macho Man Hogan scenario now. So
that too.
It's like we have a Shawn Michaels Brett scenario. It goes every era that you can think of.
Every era. So at this point, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo, I'm okay with just giving Cody a manager. I'm not against it. Just give him Arn.
I'm against it, but I don't know if I'm for it.
I don't understand
it's like
the point.
Arn not gonna do nothing.
He's not like a manager. He's a strategist. That's all he is. He just helps Cody plans the correct strategy. He ain't like Paul Heyman and he's talking for him or he's doing this and that for him. He's just a strategist. That's kind of like how he was in AEW where he just had the paper and he's like, yo, watch out for this. Dude, you got to be careful. This is what he's going to do. Like, he's just a strategist. He's not.
I don't like it. I don't like it no more.
I'll be okay with it. I'm not. Hey, we not going to always agree on stuff.
No.
Yeah, I know. But
and it's no hatred just because we don't fucking agree. It just is what it is.
He hates me.
I don't know. I gotta see. See.
I'll be okay.
I would be okay with back on TV, but just to see him in that capacity, I gotta see if it works.
That's kind of how I feel about Charlie Dempsey in NXT. I'm okay with him having William Regal as his dad as his manager.
Mm-hmm.
Be okay. Like, I'm not against it. It's like I'd be cool with it, but I'm not. I'll be cool with it, and I'm not for it. Like, I'm in between. That's how I feel about Arn Anderson. Like, if it happens, it happens. It don't, it don't. I'm not gonna be like, damn, why ain't Arn on TV yet? Like, I'll be okay with, like, we have a scene where Cody's in the back talking to Arn before each match. Okay. That's cool. We don't need to have it where the camera's, like, directly on him and we can hear what Arn says, but we can see he's talking to something. He's talking to Arn about a strategy. Like,
I'm fine with that. Hey, before the matches.
Yeah.
I don't need Arn coming out with clipboards and shit like he actually going to tell me.
Yeah, okay.
I don't need all that.
I get you. But I'm okay with.
Or you know what I'd be
back
okay
there,
with?
he's getting his wrist tape. And he's talking to Arn.
You know what I'd be okay with?
What?
You go. God damn it. Got this
No, my bad. Go ahead.
Zoom shit. That's the Zoom. But I was gonna say I'm okay with if he comes out and does commentary during Cody matches. If he comes out only during Cody matches, like he's his manager / commentary guy.
Like Kenny and Don Callis?
Yeah, Kyle, yeah, like that. I forgot he did that shit, but yeah, I'll be okay with that. Because Arn can talk.
Can he?
And then if Arn needs to get up to go help Cody, then he can get up to go help Cody. Or if he got to yell something from the announce table, we can yell something. Like I'll be okay with that.
I guess I haven't heard Arn talk in a while. In a commentator capacity. Or in a promo.
Well, shit, it's been a while. Yeah, if it's this commentary, it's been a while.
Because he gets like his 1 or 2 lines.
Nah, 2001, he got to do Monday Night Raw when they did the little WCW Monday Night Raw for an hour. Then he used to do Saturday nights and shit for WCW before they shut down. Like he used to do commentary.
Which, like I said, it's been a while though.
Yeah, it's been a fucking long time.
So like now, to this point now, you would have to kind of like, I don't want to say reintroduce him to the commentary table, but you kind of have to reintroduce him to the crowd wise. For AEW, it was easy for them to put Don Callis in there because he literally was a commentator for TNA at that time, and he was a commentator for New Japan for a while. So we kind of knew who Don Callis was.
But he just did a sweet talk for Cody. You know what I mean? Like, that's all he's there for. We don't need to do too much else.
And he didn't even talk. And I would say he didn't talk much when he was in AEW. He was just there as he just had a little paper. And he's like,
I don't want him to I don't want him to just be there because it's pointless. It's like, we don't need you to just be there. Like, I need you to do more. You're Arn fucking Anderson. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? But yeah, let's get to this fucking match.
They basically had a regular match, which that pisses me off. I hate that they have a regular match for so long for it to be bloodline rules. Then you have a regular match, and then literally somebody comes running in. Who happened to be Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa in this instance. And we were speculating who these friends that Arn was talking about. But Randy Orton and Kevin Owens come running out. A lot of people saying Ricky Starks. Y'all need to stop. Y'all knew it was going to be Ricky. Stop it.
That was me, fool.
No, you weren't the only one. A lot of other people were saying that.
I was like, who, Ricky? He's talking about you got friends on the way. I'm like, well, who's on the way? Kevin Owens and Randy Orton should already be there.
But they, the story, they've been taken out already, So
if they were taken out, how the fuck are now they on their way? They were taken out. So that's why I was like, well, who the fuck else could it be? Just leave us in suspense. Like, okay, well, maybe Ricky. We seen he's been training there, but he ain't been on WWE TV like that. So,
what do you mean he ain't been on WWE TV like that? He ain't on WWE TV at all. Ricky ain't never been on the TV. Stop it.
No, he was. He got beat up by Ryback.
Oh, stop. Okay. Anyways, Randy Orton's KO comes out, and then
I think first time Tonga and Tonga Loa come out.
And they basically hit an elevated crossroads. And I was like, okay.
Facts. I was like, what the fuck is this stupid shit? All right. So only get the 2 count. Cody kicks out. Then Randy and KO comes out.
Cody goes, he hits Solo with 3 crossroads.
I thought it was 2.
It was 3.
It was 3, okay. I thought 3 was the last time.
And then Jacob comes out of nowhere with the whisper in the wind.
Oh, no, he did let go of him and take a whisper in the wind. Hey, why would you let go of this nigga? You was about to hit the last. No, he was about to hit that 3rd crossroad. He only hit 2. He was about to hit the 3rd one.
He was about to hit the 3rd one.
And that's when Jacob came in and hit the whisper in the wind.
And then, Jacob gets him on the table. And no, actually, Jacob hit the whisper in the wind, super kick, and then he did the springboard moonsault. Then Solo goes to the pin, but Cody kicks out, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? All right.
Superman.
Championship Cody. So,
Super Cody
on the table. So, Jacob does the table splash. Jacob grabs at his leg. Instantly. Screaming, yelling, throwing a chair like he can't stand up. So, out of nowhere, Solo comes out there, and Jacob is looking like Vince McMahon at Royal Rumble 2006-5 when he tears out his ass. And he's just standing on the ground. He's like, put him in the ring, finish him. And
he kept trying to get up, though. I don't remember Vince trying to get up no more. Vince just tried to get up that one time, and he just collapsed. So, Jacob kept trying to get up.
Jacob was sitting on the ground like, put him in the ring. He's literally sitting there like, put him in the ring. Just put him in the ring. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, Solo. I was like, Jacob, stand up. Or at least just hang on the wall.
Because Solo was trying to see what was wrong. He was like, are you all right? He's trying to see if you're all right. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Put him in the ring. Put him in the ring.
So Solo goes and he hits the splash on Cody, and Cody still kicks out. And I can't remember what happened in between, but Roman music hits.
Okay, wait.
Before Roman music hits, what happened?
So they just said fuck it, right? There was more that was supposed to happen. But I think since Jacob couldn't get back up, they just X whatever that middle part was.
Because there was a random moment after the kick out, and it was just like, what are we about to do now?
Yeah, and then the music just fucking just hits, and I'm like, oh yeah, something else is supposed to fucking happen. I think Jay really was supposed to come out. I think either Jay or Jimmy was supposed to come out, but Jacob couldn't stand, so they just said, fuck it, we gonna 86 that shit, and we gonna go straight to Roman.
Yeah.
And you can tell that's what happened.
Roman music hits and the crowd goes crazy. And I'm listening to this music and I'm like, this ain't the final boss music that I know, Roman. This is a remix. And I instantly in my head I go, they done Def Rebel my boy. Like his music already came from Def Rebel, but they Def Rebel my boy. But he comes out, crowd goes crazy. Superman punches Solo, Spears Solo, and then there's a little stare down between him and Cody.
No, can you play it off? You didn't even play it off like you were supposed to. He walks to the ring. The camera angle makes it look like he was going to hit Cody, but we knew who he was going to hit.
He didn't play nothing off. He got past.
The camera angle, when he did play it off, he walked towards Cody, and then Superman punched Solo. Me and Candace was watching it in the room. Like, he walked towards Cody because Cody was on the right side. He walked towards Cody, but he stopped, and boom, Superman punched the Solo.
Oh, okay. Because
I kept saying the whole time.
Oh, wait, go ahead.
No, I kept saying the whole time. I was like, no, we know who he's going to get. This ain't a question. We know who he's going for. And he went for, I was like, no, we play that off if we want to. And then they, on commentary, they was like, well, who is he going for? It's like, stop playing this game. Yeah. We know exactly who the fuck he's going
for. Exactly who he's coming for.
Fact.
Like, I was like, say, from my point, it's like once he kind of got past that turn, because you know how the ramp was set up, came out. Right. First of all, I love how the ramp was set up anyway. Like, actually, how the stage was set up with the hoops and everything. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that too.
But, come around the corner, and he gets around, and he runs in the ring. He runs in towards that right side of the ring where Cody is at. But from my standpoint was he got in the ring and instantly was like, looked at Solo and hit him with the Superman punch. I was like, he got in the ring, looked at Cody and was like, Superman punch. That's exactly how it looked for me. Like, he ran in, I'm coming for you instantly.
Yeah, it was like that. Exactly.
And then he stares at Rome. He stares at Cody for a while, but he kind of give Solo a smirk. Not a smirk, but like a snarl. Like, kind of look like, bro, you really been out here calling yourself the Tribal Chief the whole time.
And disrespecting my name while I've been gone.
The whole time. But they take a look, and then Cody hits the crossroads. I was like, why you do that? He pulled Solo up still, and then hit him with the crossroads. And then 1, 2, 3. And then I think the camera did catch it. Or he just mentioned at the post show, was like, Cody got the title, and he puts like a 3 on it, like knowing like, hey, we gotta do the third match, Roman. Me and you one more time. Gotta break the tie. But yeah, great. I'm not gonna say great match. Great ending of the match. It was a great ending of that match.
No, we just got what we wanted. The people got what they wanted, and they got Roman back to stop this Solo tyrant that's going on right now with this fake bloodline that's not the real bloodline. And then I'll say one last thing. Did you hear Wade Barrett say some stupid shit during that match?
Wade Barrett?
Okay. Was it during that match or no? It actually was it the tag match? Fuck, maybe it was a tag match on SmackDown. Wade Barrett said some stupid shit. He said that Jacob Fatu had just met Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. It wasn't SummerSlam. It was on SmackDown.
Okay.
But it touched me because I heard it and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So he said, well, DIY, they've been together for 10 years, but Solo and not Solo, but Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, they just met. They're fresh together. Like, no, they're not. And then Corey Graves had to come back later on and was like, no, if you forgot, Tama and Haku were tag team partners. They were the Islanders. So these kids been known each other. So you don't have to say that they just met. So that kind of bothered me when he said that. They don't say that. If they're the bloodline, they're supposed to be the bloodline. Don't put no holes in it like they just met, never known each other. Don't
I get where you're going. That makes sense. But then again, I'm like, they could have been kids and they met each other before, yes. But when you don't remember all the childhood friends you had. You don't remember all of them.
You remember the ones that you was around that call you cousin, and that both of y'all fathers already came in. and that both of your fathers are in the same business, yes. Now, if both of your fathers weren't in the same business around the same people, then maybe I'd be like, okay, yeah, y'all distant cousins. Y'all like 4th, 5th cousins. Y'all don't talk. I get that. You motherfuckers been around each other for a while. Haku was around Rikishi and around Tama. Stop. They ain't just met. Plus, they know each other from the Indies. They ain't just met.
The Indies. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Because,
New Japan, you can do what the fuck you want to do.
Yeah. That's what made me go, yeah, he was part of New Japan. But Jacob was just floating around, so it doesn't really matter. But that's why I said great ending. It was a great ending. To me, the best part of the match really was Jacob appearing, and then from then on, everything else was like, this like, if we're gonna do bloodline rules, go ahead and make it it's a Extreme Rules match. I don't need an actual match in the ring.
I don't need to be scientific.
I need tables. I need chairs. I need y'all to be barbaric because it's a bloodlines rule match. Anything goes.
Right.
That's what my standpoint of it is. But yeah. There was a part though. Cody goes to grab the stairs. Solo spears him, and these stairs go flying. And
he threw him.
No, he speared him out of his hands.
He threw him.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we say throw, spirit out of his hands. Either way, you want to go.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Kayfabe. But he threw them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because I seen when he threw them.
Rope. Yeah, okay. But they bounce off the rope and they come towards. In my head, I was like, yo, the way they bounced off the rope and they landed close to Solo, I was like, yo,
was it close to Cody? I remember when it bounced back to the middle of the ring. It bounced off the turnbuckle and bounced to the middle of the ring. And it kept
Solo was trying to pin Cody.
Yeah, it was like it kept bouncing.
If you're looking at it and he's pinning Cody, the steps probably land, I would say maybe like 4 or 5 feet from his feet, like from his legs, from the pin. So I'm like, bro, because the way it hit, I was like, yo, this is coming back. Steps are gonna come back. That's instantly I was like, yo, those steps coming back. Flew, hit the rope, come back, and it land. I'm like, oh, okay, it didn't hit them. I was like, man, if that would have hit them, that would have been like, it would have been funny, but I was like, oh.
Nah, them shit's gonna hurt.
The break, I was like, it's gonna hurt. Even, it looked like it sucked when Solo went to do to back it up, and Cody moved, and his back hit the back of the steps.
Nah, it went perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Sat in the stair part.
Yeah,
now, that's what I was like. Okay, there, that'd have been.
It looked perfect, but I was like, man, that would have sucked if he actually did hit it though.
I
know that shit would have sucked.
Cody would have had concussion.
Oh, bruh. But yeah, that's everything that was on the card. But in between before we get up out of here, in between the Gunther and Cody match, did you see the Jelly Roll thing with The Miz and everything?
Nah.
So the Miz and R-Truth come out there and they announced the attendance, which was like 57. Because I wrote it down 57,791. That's in an arena that usually holds like 67,000, which is not bad, setups and everything. So probably was 60,000. Right. So 3,000 less tickets because a lot of people were showing the picture was that the seats was tarped off or covered up, whatever. So a lot of people was like, "Oh, you see, AEW ain't the only one who cover up seats." I'm like, bro, they're covering up seats in a whole arena. In an arena. Okay.
In a stadium.
In a stadium. Yeah, thank you. In a stadium, not some arena or whatever.
Not some 10,000 seat arena where your whole left side is completely gone except for the fucking camera in the front row.
But I already knew it was kind of blocked off from I want to say it was from the Braun match. They had kind of the camera kind of went over there, and I was like, oh, they got some stuff.
It came from the aisleway, and they kind of showed you a little part that was blocked off. Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, oh, but that ain't no big deal. It's probably where the light probably is hitting at the most, and you don't have nobody there. Yeah. It ain't from ticket comps. It ain't from ticket comps. They've been selling out everywhere.
But so in between, Miz announces the thing, whatever, and the Miz, R-Truth, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller all in the ring. I think Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are making fun of Jelly Roll because you know how big he is, or whatever, and they're making fun of MGK because he was there because he's from Cleveland. When Jelly Roll gets in the ring, he got the chair, he hits Austin Theory, and he hits Grayson Waller on the back. But he goes to chokeslam Austin Theory. That was one, like, if you go look at that chokeslam, I was like, that's a pretty good fucking chokeslam. I was like, yo, that would have made Kane proud on that chokeslam.
Oh, I didn't see it. I heard you talk about it at the end of the show, but I didn't see it.
Oh, you gotta go see it. Because it was actually pretty good. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, okay.
So in that's what they were talking about when they kept saying Jelly Roll fulfilled his fantasy as a child. He got to chokeslam somebody. I was like, I don't know what they're talking about, but okay.
And Grayson got some, he sold it because he hit. Oh, he got some hair time. I was like, okay. He went and did the 15 knuckle shuffle, whatever. Pretty good. I was like, okay. It's a pretty good moment, pretty funny moment. But I was like, okay, cool. That's a pretty good chokeslam. But yeah, that's the whole pay-per-view. Little things that came out of it. I wanted to mention Triple H said at the post show, this might be the last time we see a one-night SummerSlam.
He said, "Wait, don't get ahead of yourself." That was the questionnaire guy, one of the guys in the crowd. He was like, "Is this the last time we're gonna have a one-night SummerSlam?" And he was like, "Wait a minute, wait, ever? Don't get ahead of yourself now."
Yeah,
we just know that the next couple of years that we do have two-night SummerSlam blocks, and we'll see where it goes from there.
My thought process on that was, okay, now the story's going to have to. There's going to be a lot of things have to be going on at the same time for all that to happen. For us to get 2 nights of SummerSlam, that's one thing. And then 2, what came to my mind was, we have 2 nights of SummerSlam. We have 2 nights of WrestleMania. Are we going to be getting a 2-night of Royal Rumble soon?
No. We can keep that one night. We don't need 2 nights of Royal Rumble. You know why?
Why?
Because 30 guys are already used inside the Royal Rumble match alone. And then if you have, 2 other matches, you could have a tag match or you could have a championship match. What's that? A total of 6 other guys?
Mm-hmm.
So you're already using 36 guys on the roster compared to like a regular card like we just had tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, what was it? We had 7 matches. 2 times 7. We had 14 guys on this card. See, you know what I'm saying?
Hold up, back up.
They're just trying to.
Yeah, like 10 guys. 10 guys and 4 girls.
I'm counting the people who are wrestling in the matches. So if we have 7 matches, right? There's no tag team matches. They're all one-on-one matches. So that means it's 14 guys. Is my math off?
Yes. 7 matches. 5 of them are men's masters.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's 10 guys and then 4 girls. That's all. I'm like, yo, what?
Kiss my fucking ass. I'm thinking like my math is off. I'm like, nigga, is my math off? Like, nigga.
That's why I was like, I'm gonna help you out with 10 guys, 4 girls.
Yes, you're right. Whatever. Still, the amount of people that you're trying to get on the card is the Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, because you get to use 30 people inside this one match.
Right.
Besides, you know what I mean, the 10 guys or whatever that you're going to use on a regular card. So you don't need 2 nights of that because you already get to fit most people on the roster for a Rumble match.
For a Rumble card. But then you're looking at it. So I'm thinking about how Royal Rumble was last year. We had the 30 women's Royal Rumble. We had the US title match. We had a regular. I think we just had a regular match in between and a world title match. And then we had the men's Royal Rumble.
So 5 matches?
So 5 matches altogether. So if we did go to 2 nights of Royal Rumble, you got to do 1 Royal Rumble on one night, 1 Royal Rumble another night. And then you have to
fuck that. Fuck that. Hey, you got a whole 2-hour pre-show. You better put some of their asses on the pre-show for their tag team or one-on-one matches, and then you fit the rest on the card for your 3 or 4 hour pay-per-view. There's no reason to have 2 nights. There's no reason to have 2 nights for the Rumble.
That makes sense. Well, that's how I feel about the SummerSlam. What's the purpose of a 2-night SummerSlam? What are we going to do with that?
No, SummerSlam, I get it because there could be hot feuds. And again, there's only 10 people that got to get a payday for the SummerSlam. So I kind of understand that.
Right now.
You got to be the dopest one to get on the card. I get it. But
Right now. if we had a 2-night SummerSlam right now, who's not on this card? What matches are not on this card that you was like could fit into 2 nights?
What matches or what people?
What people?
We could have got a Bianca Belair something going on. We could have got a DIY something going on. We could have got who else? Who's on the Raw side? Seth didn't have a match. We could have had a match instead of being involved in that shit. But nah, that story was great. Yeah, nobody. KO, Randy Orton.
To be honest with you, I feel like it's gonna be the same thing next year. Because at this point, 2 nights of Kaiser actually he's returning this Monday Night Raw. But we're looking at literally how I see it is Vince McMahon stuff, where we're just throwing motherfuckers on the show just to throw them on the show because we want to pack it up. So next year we're gonna have meaningless tag team matches, or just like the DIY versus Bloodline match. I was happy that was on SmackDown. I'm like, I don't need that on SummerSlam. We don't need that. What was just so they could win the titles early in the night, just so they could be a part of the Bloodline match the next night?
Yeah, I mean, if it's 2 nights, then that wouldn't bother me if it's 2 nights. But if it's one night, I don't want to sit through 9-10 matches. Oh, there goes Miss Curry. I don't want to sit through no fucking 12 matches and show no one card for one night. I don't got the patience for that. But I can maybe do 6 this night, 6 the next night.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not a big deal.
Right. But yeah, that's talks. And then I don't say a lot of injuries, but injuries occur. Jacob might be hurt. We saw a picture of Jacob in a boot after SummerSlam. So
at the airport.
Nah, where they at the airport?
It's like an airport. It's like the little convenience store at the airport.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I got you. I was say there was a side of a store, and I was like, hey, was that at the airport? I didn't know. But yeah, I saw the video of him. It was like him and Solo, like dapping up some guys in the store. Like they walked up on them, like just introducing themselves as fans, whatever. And they was dapping them up. But they saw Jacob in a boot. I feel like I'm getting into the conspiracy theory part now. Now that I'm believing you, saying that Jacob might be with Roman for real. Like a lot of people was like, that's crazy. Jacob happened to get hurt, and then Roman comes out and he didn't even do anything. He just
didn't do nothing. We didn't see him no more.
Like he's just on the side. He's so hurt to the point where he just can't do nothing. He's like, I'm like,
they didn't even carry that nigga out the arena. Usually, if you hurt, even with the angle going on, they got some EMTs, they got the doctors in them.
He just got carried out by a referee.
But after Roman had already left.
Yeah.
The show was already over.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute.
That's why then I saw the picture of him in a boot, and I'm like, they could throw a boot on anything. You could always throw a boot on. If you twist your ankle, you could throw a boot on. If you do
Did you see the replay?
Huh?
Did you see the replay?
I did see the replay.
That shin don't look like it hit that table that hard. That's when I sent you the text message because they showed the replay twice. And I was like, he didn't look like he hit that hard, but he did instantly. I'm like, oh,
that's why I was like, I don't want to say you're right in this moment, but I'm right there next to you, though.
It was a lot of wonky shit. A lot of wonky shit.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm like,
a lot of wonky shit.
He might.
Why did you tell him to get him in the ring? Bloodline rules. Why did you tell him to throw him in the ring? Get his ass in the ring. Why? Just had a little random shit.
I'm just saying, man. And they constantly keep putting the camera on Jacob's face every time Solo says something on SmackDown. They instantly put they instantly puts it on Jacob's face. And I'm like, oh man, that's kind of interesting.
And then he came out with no help. Roman just came out by himself.
No
Didn't even look at Jacob.
No Jimmy. Didn't acknowledge him.
Nothing. That's why I'm like, yo.
Hey man,
playing a role here, but we'll see.
You might be on to something.
We'll see.
I'm enjoying the storyline. I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying WWE right now.
Raw's
TV and pay-per-view.
Raw's must see to see what falls out with the Braun Breaker, Liv Morgan and Rhea, that whole shebang, Drew and CM Punk, Gunther, world champion. That's gonna be must see. SmackDown is must see because Roman's gonna be on SmackDown. He got to be on SmackDown.
Nah, he won't.
He probably won't be.
I don't know. He might.
But it'll be nice.
Right. We'll see.
We got to see. It's must see all around. NXT is on fire right now. They got the Drew Hendricks going on down there. Javon Evans, everything just popping off in NXT. WWE's on fire.
How did you not mention the NXT champion, Ethan Page?
Ethan Page. Oh, my bad. All ego.
He's actually shining right now. Remember, we fucking hated him in AEW. Now he fucking shining.
Did I hate Ethan Page?
We used to talk shit about him.
I'm about to say. I don't remember.
He ain't important.
I was nobody. Because he was. First of all, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people are talking about MXM in AEW right now, and I'm like, they're like, man, WWE don't. This and AEW don't create stars. First of all, there are two people who got fired from WWE, taking WWE's gimmick to go to AEW. That's one thing. AEW didn't make them. That's one thing. Second of all, they only been on TV for 2 fucking weeks. They just a new flavor ice cream. They ain't about to be the champions. They just about to be another team that just won't just float around. And they might not even sign to AEW. But I'm just saying.
They're doing one-offs.
Yeah. So, and AEW didn't make them. It's the same gimmick from WWE. Literally. Just giving more screen time. But Ethan Page, on the other hand, he wasn't giving no screen time in AEW. He's getting more screen time in NXT. It's a different. It's like the same name, same nickname and everything, but it's a different. I feel like it's a different character. Different presentation. It's something different. It's still Ethan Page. Don't get me wrong, from AEW, but it's also Ethan Page from TNA. If you don't know, you don't. If you know, now you know. He was in TNA for AEW.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, you know.
Yeah, AEW poached him from TNA. Boom. Because he was doing good things in TNA. Well,
he wasn't. No, he was not doing good things in TNA.
He was doing good things. He was doing great things.
Was he the one that wrestled the blow up doll?
No.
Or the kid? No, the kid. The kid was Kenny Omega. I think he did wrestle a blow up doll.
They all did. Basically, everybody in the Indies wrestled a blow up doll.
Or a broomstick. He wrestled a broomstick. He did. It was a blow-up doll or a broomstick. He wrestled in the middle of a TNA ring.
At the end of it, I know that at the end of his TNA run, it was kind of was comedy.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Yeah, but I was saying before that, he was a good main star. And TNA, TNA does something different where you're about to leave that company and kill you. They always do that. I don't know.
Like literally kill you.
Like literally, like your heart got snatched out. Like I'm like, yo, what?
Who was the last?
All right.
Who did they kill? Didn't they kill? Went to AEW and then he came back alive.
The bunny.
The bunny.
Yeah, when they did the Butcher and the Blade and Bunny, the girl that was with them, she was in TNA.
Was she the one who got killed? And then I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was somebody else that got killed, mate.
Like I said, anybody that leaves TNA, they get killed. Like actually killed. They don't just go away to a different company. They don't just get fired or feast of fire or whatever. They get killed. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah. Was it the guy from England? He used to be a part of the Elite, but he's not no more because he had that Me Too shit going on with the umbrella. Marty Scurll. Did he get killed?
Probably. Maybe.
All right, well, fuck it. Let's move on.
He is the villain.
He is the villain. The Penguin.
I wish he didn't have that Me Too stuff. He would have.
Man, he was great.
Yeah.
He was the one of the Elite that I actually really fucked with. But anyway, fuck it. We've been here for a while. Shit. Right. That's the show. I got nothing to plug this week.
Me either.
Yeah, fuck it. SummerSlam got us worn out, but it was a great SummerSlam. We'll see you guys next week for another episode, and we'll have more to talk about as usual because the wrestling week never stops. So for your boy Izzy Too Real and my boy
Playboy Troy,
this has been We're Wrestlemaniacs 2, and we out. Yiddy. First of all, I want you to stop holding steel during these